Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, back with another video for you guys. Today I'm here with my review of The Wolverine, directed by James Mangold, starring Hugh Jackman, and I'm going through all the X-Men verse movies to get a lead up to Deadpool 3, so this is next on the list. So I'm ready to get into this review. If you guys have been watching my X-Men review series with me, if you guys have been enjoying them, please hit that like button, please subscribe for more, and let's get into this review, you guys. Let's get it, let's go. Alright, you guys, like I said, this is The Wolverine, directed by James Mangold, his first outing as directing a Wolverine film. Obviously, we'll go on to do Logan, and obviously we'll talk about that movie when we get to there. But this is also the second solo Wolverine film to come out with Hugh Jackman, and this movie takes place, as we can see, it's been a couple years after the events of X-Men Last Stand. They do tie in certain events to that movie because we got certain characters like Jean Grey showing up in memories or in dreams. They show like in the photo of scenes from X-Men 3. So we do know that this movie takes place at least a couple years after the events of X-Men 3. And Wolverine is basically out here living like a recluse. He's distancing himself from the X-Men and the Wolverine character, at least, you know, what they know him by. And he's been living out in the woods and, you know, getting away from everybody. And he just stumbles upon this girl named Yumiko. She comes to him and say, oh, someone wants to talk to you because they're about to die and they want to say thank you and give you something because they're on their last life. They want to, you know, be able to thank you for all these, you know, for basically saving his life. Because back in the day, during the Nakasami bombings, Wolverine or Logan saved one of the soldiers from dying from the nuclear explosion. He basically wanted to repay him for saving his life. Which, let's go ahead and get into the opening sequence. When I was watching it, first of all, the Blu-ray I have is amazing. The Blu-ray looks fantastic, and this opening scene just looked gorgeous. It looked amazing on my TV. I'm like, goodness gracious, this movie was actually really shot really well, and that goes into James Mangold. James Mangold did a really good job directing this movie. He did a really good job with the way it's shot, the lighting, the camera, and everything. You know, he did a great job with, you know, the way this movie was shot. And I was like, wow, the Blu-ray looks fantastic. And yeah, so I gotta give credit to James Mangold for at least giving us a good looking movie. You know, I think it does look really good. Now, going on to other parts of the movie, we'll talk about that as we get to it. But let's go ahead and get into the performances. Like I said, Hugh Jackman, he's been Wolverine. At this point, when this movie came out, he's playing his character for 13 years. This movie came out in 2013. So, yeah, he was playing his character for 13 years. He's already know what to do with this character and how to play him. And he does a great job in this movie. He looks fantastic. Oh, my goodness. Is he ripped in this movie? He was like, I want to make sure Wolverine looks the best he is. And he does look great in this movie physically. He just looks like a monster on screen. Even with the physicality, with him going in rage mode, using the claws, Hugh Jackman is just, it's going to be really hard to replace this man when Marvel Studios finally replace him. But he looks fantastic in this movie. Now, going on with the other side characters, I do like the character Yumiko. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. I do like her in this movie. She's a mutant that has the ability to see when people are going to die or knowing where they're going to die. And I do like their banter. I do like Wolverine and Yumiko's, you know, camaraderie and their dynamic in this movie. Some of the other side characters, you know, the Silver Samurai is very, you know, hit or miss. His son, I can't think of the actor's name, but he's been in a lot of stuff. He's very hit or miss. A lot of the side characters are very forgettable, especially so as what the trailer was hinting. Viper is in this movie, and she's a very one-note, very forgettable character. And let's go ahead and get into my negatives. I might as well get into my negatives. First of all, I do like this movie. I'm probably one of the ones that actually do like this movie, at least certain aspects of the movie. But my major problem with this movie is the pacing. This movie is very boring. If things aren't happening on screen, when characters are talking, it's not very interesting. Nothing is happening on screen when it comes to characters talking to one another. Even the little love story that Logan goes through in this movie, it just happens, and it's very one noted. You don't really feel anything from their little relationship that they build within this movie. Like I said, the only two characters that have interesting dynamic is Yumiko and Wolverine. Those are the only two characters that have any interesting dynamic. I don't care about the son's plot. I don't care about the boyfriend's plot. I don't care about none of these other side characters. Even our main villain, who is trying to, give Wolverine the ability to heal, from aging. I just do not care at all about any of these characters besides Wolverine. He's the only one that gets me through this movie. So yeah, that's my major gripe with this movie, and obviously the third act, which we'll get to. But like I said, that's one of my major gripes is the pacing. Just the pacing, the dialogue isn't written very well, and just it's slow. This is a very slow movie. Now, when action is happening, like we got the funeral scene when Wolverine gets shot for the first time and he realizing that he's not healing, or we got the opening sequence when he goes into the bar and try to takes out these guys. Those scenes are very good and very energetic. But there's a lot of there's only I think obviously there's three major action set pieces in this movie. We got that scene, we got the funeral scene. Like I said, I do like that scene as well. We got the guy on top of the roofs taking out guys, helping out Wolverine. Of course, Wolverine's going crazy as well. And then we have the train sequence with the bullet train, which I do like that sequence as well. Even though it's shot really wonky, but I do like that scene as well. And then we get to the third act when Wolverine is going after the Silver Samurai. Which is dope. Like I said, we got the scene with him being, with all the wires in his body and stuff. And then, of course, we get the scene inside the house with him fighting, he's fighting everybody. And, I do like those sequences. But, of course, we get to the third act and it just falls apart. Like I said, we got, the big boss fight between Wolverine and the Silver Samurai. And it just, for me, it just doesn't work. I don't really care about the villain and his motivations and why he's doing what he's doing. It's just, and, I just don't care. At the point, the movie just falls flat for me. Now, there is two different versions of this movie. There's a theatrical version and an unrated version. I personally have both versions. Obviously, I have the Blu-ray 3D combo pack that has both versions, and I watched the unrated version, and now that I own it, I don't watch any other version. Yeah, they do add a lot more blood and a lot more violence, but it really doesn't do anything to make the movie better. It just add more violence and blood. Now, which version do I recommend watching? Obviously, I recommend watching the unrated version because you get that extra oomph of violence and blood and stuff like that. To see Wolverine, cut some guys up and see some blood splattering, it's pretty nice. But overall, like I said, I do like this movie, but I do have major gripes with it. The pacing, the dialogue, it's pretty slow in between certain things happening, and I do not care about characters' motivations. But on the flip side, Hugh Jackman is amazing as the character still, even with the wonky dialogue. I do like the character Yumiko, and the action sequences in this movie are shot pretty well, and they're pretty good as well. It's like I said, Hugh Jackman looks great in this movie. And I think James Mangold did a decent job with the movie, but he was just salting the steak that he's going to make with Logan. So I'm so ready to get to that movie, but I had to get this review out of the way because I'm so ready to review the next movie, and that is X-Men Days of Future Past. I'm so excited to watch this movie, so I just had to get this review out as quick as possible. So if you guys have enjoyed my review for the Wolverine, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. Let me know what you guys thought about the Wolverine in the comment section below. Like I said, the next movie is going to be X-Men Days of Future Past. Be ready for that review within the next week or so. So I hope you guys are ready for that. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe for more. And I'm on this one, you guys. Peace out.